when you hit play, 48 hours is
From
how
the
long
play
you...
start. Gotcha.
Yeah, so if it pops up and says, hey, you can rent this, and it's like a Tuesday, and you're like, well, I want to watch it Saturday, but I don't want to forget that this is the movie I want to watch, then you rent it now, watch it Saturday.
That's
and
a really
then,
good system.
Whatever.
I can
Kinda
totally
nice.
understand why Blockbuster is no longer around.
Well, because there were a lot of streaming sites that as soon as you rented it, you had 24 hours from when you rented it to watch it. It's like, well, I don't want to watch it all right now. Something could come up. You got to leave. Like,
I got a Redbox tip for people, but I'm going to put a disclaimer that no one should ever do this, but I will give you the tools.
Real quick, I posted the bats on our page. So
yay, you can see his handmade bats. So a friend of mine who will be remained unnamed because this is illegal, but I'm going to explain it anyway. So you rent a game from Redbox and you copy, scan it, and print,
piece of paper.
Yeah, or just like a sticker, and put it on a blank disc, and then put it back in the case and go give it back to Redbox. So you just got a free game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't. Please don't.
Don't do that because it will come back to you.
Right,
Like,
because that's what I was thinking.
They know who rented it, and when you put it back, the next person who rents it, if there's actually nothing in there except a sticker, all they have to do is get a hold of the company and say, hey, there's no game in here, it's a sticker.
Well,
and
then
then
a sticker on a blank disc.
Well, whatever it is. But, they could verify it, and after they question the person thinking they did it, like, why would you turn yourself in? They're going to go, oh, it was the last guy who rented it.
Right. You never know. That person could have put it in their system and been like, oh, it must be a bad game. The game might be broken, so they send it back or whatnot and get their money back.
Which is an easy way, yeah.
Who knows how all that stuff works?
You should say an acquaintance instead of your friend, because now when the FCC comes to check out, who's this buddy you got?
Well, actually, I haven't talked to this acquaintance in a while. It was an old coworker.
This old human?
This old human stuff. So have you ever seen the show Misfits?
Misfits.
Yes. It's a show based out of the UK. About 5 kids that are on community service, and a storm
hits. Orange is the New Black.
And they gives them superpowers, but really weird superpowers. Like the girl...
Like spaghetti out of your fingers?
No. The girl has this power where when people touch her, they get the uncontrollable urge to fuck her.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, one guy can reverse time if he feels sorry about it. Then the other kid can become invisible.
Weird.
Anyway, the storm hits, and the one kid doesn't know his superpower the whole season, and he's constantly trying to figure out what the power is, and he's like, I better have an A-list power. This kid can turn invisible. He has a power, but I don't. It's super raunchy. The one girl can read people's minds, or even animals, and like her dog is licking her, and he's like, I was just licking my bullocks, blah blah blah, and I'm gonna go get the dog next door, give her a proper day, blah blah blah. It's so funny. But the one
fun that
kid,
he's like British.
right, the dog actually has a British accent. Hell yeah. But the one guy in it, Nathan, he's in Umbrella Academy. Have you watched that?
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes.
Right. I forget what his little thing is in Umbrella Academy, but he is the reason I watched that show, Misfits. Super great show. I think it's on Hulu. People should watch it.
Which kid? Sorry, my brain.
Which kid?
Him.
What? Yes.
He can see his dead brother. Like I think he speaks to spirits or something like that in Umbrella Academy.
Okay. Well, when he leaves the show in Misfits, they don't ever say anything, but there's a 7-minute YouTube video of his exit, and it gets to the point where these characters can start trading powers and stuff. Mm. So he gets the power to change the outcome of stuff. So he goes to Vegas, and he starts winning and winning and winning. But then he rolls the dice and makes a 7-sided die and gets caught. So he gets arrested, and he calls, everybody back in the UK, and the new character that's taking over for him answers the phone, and Nathan always called this certain character Billy, which wasn't his name. So when he's like, when the other dude answers the phone, he's like, "Hey, Billy," and he's like, "There's no Billy here," and then just hangs up on him, and that's the last thing you hear from him. But that character that took over for him, which is kind of weird, that Nathan's power in Umbrella Academy is that he can kind of see his brother, because the guy that took over for Nathan in Misfits, his superpower was that he could split himself into two people. And one was his like bad side, and one was his good side. Like the one was super cocky, and then the other one was super shy. And like they could merge together and stuff. It was super weird.
Yeah, in Umbrella Academy, he's called the Seance because he can talk to the dead and they'll speak through him. And it says telekinesis.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool.
Since you're looking at that stuff, can you tell me who created Umbrella Academy? Because I know it was a comic book by someone that was already famous.
Gerard Way.
And he is... he's like part of a band or something.
Yeah, he's My Chemical Romance. Lead guy.
Lead guy from My Chemical Romance made that comic book.
Mm.
That's amazing.
I knew I recognized the name for a second as soon as I clicked it. Yeah, he's the...
Because he never wanted to shut the goddamn door.
Wrong band.
Really?
That's Panic at the Disco.
Son of a bitch. Well, I've never really panicked at a disco, so...
Well, he was in a Black Parade.
Oh, yeah.
He was watching a Black Parade.
Then again, I've never had a Chemical Romance either.
I think it means a chemical addiction. You're having a romance with a chemical.
Right, that's what I figured. That's why I've never had one.
Yeah. Well, dopamine.
I guess, yeah.
I have a chemical
Caffeine.
Romance with being happy. Caffeine.
Yeah. I have an addiction to nicotine.
The legal attraction of Drabadoo.
Dew from the mountains is my poison.
Ew.
But I've also never had a Bloody Valentine either.
I like wine, but I don't need it.
Yeah?
I mean, it's like a rare occasion I drink it. But, socially, I do enjoy wine. I do enjoy a full-bodied wine. I don't want to drink, I don't like carbonation, so...
I like carbonation.
I like... If I'm going to have it, it's got to be like a Moscato d'Asti or something like that. Like, to get on a wine front.
To me.
I really like Lapistol Carmenere out of Argentina.
Are you just not trying to confuse me?
I'm not. I actually do enjoy that. But yeah, I said it for confusion, but it's a legit.
Intricate.
Look it up.
I don't know how to spell it.
It's real. It's a full body with a touch of leather.
What the hell does that mean, full body?
It means it's not. It doesn't have a thin feel in your mouth. Like how some liquids are like real thin, but it's not like thick like a heavy cream or anything like that. But it doesn't, the flavor will stay in your mouth for a moment. Like kind of, it's a decent, not a syrup. It's not like a bunch of can of molasses.
So since you're a wine guy, I got a question for you. Why the fuck what the hell is a wine tasting where you taste it and then spit it out? That doesn't make sense to me.
The tasting and spitting out, you don't have to spit it out. But the thing is if you're going to be tasting, let's say 50 wines, spit it out.
Because you're going to be wasted by 10.
Yeah, because you're doing a half ounce to an ounce. Some tastings will give you, 3 ounce, or 2 ounces, which is, a decent, you can enjoy it, you can share it, stuff like that. But the whole spitting it out is, they have the little spittoon for you. If you don't like what you're drinking, then you can spit it out, you can dump it, and then you can, pour a little water in, clear it, and dump it. But you don't have to spit it out. It's just for that factor of the tradition of typically you're trying more than 3 wines.
Right.
So, if you're only doing like 6 wines and at a basic wine tasting or whatever, then swallow it if you like it. If you don't, maybe your neighbor does. If they don't want it, you dump it in the spittoon thing. I don't know what its specific name is, but yeah, that's
I appreciate
basically
you
the rough
explaining
idea.
that to me, because I've always seen it as like a kind of a waste. But I mean, if you're tasting, you're tasting to buy, hopefully.
Yeah, well, I was right. It's a spittoon or a wine tasting receptacle is what it's called. And there's, a bunch of different intricate, fun designs. But basically, that's the whole deal with it. Or dump bucket, spit bucket. Some call it a spittoon. While you're correct, it is used to dump leftover. Like that episode of Jackass where they all went to a wine tasting and then dared Steve-O to drink the spittoon.
Ugh.
And they were all spitting in it.
Gross,
and,
dude.
He drank it.
Fucking Steve-O, man.
It was horrible. I think I don't remember if there was money involved, but there very well might have been. But yeah. I doubt it. I don't know. I hope
better have been. Jesus Christ. I want to give a Jesters shout out to Steve-O, because that motherfucker has gone through some shit and he's clean now. He's been clean for a couple years, which I'm very, very proud of that fact. Anybody that can get through an addiction like he was going through, doing whippets constantly and videotaping himself, constantly trying to get on, TV again, like TMZ and shit, just doing crazy stunts. So shout out to Steve-O. I got another shout out for you. Keanu motherfucking Reeves. This motherfucker, although he has put out, people have been using my picture and putting words on there that I don't say.
Really?
Like, he never said anything about going to Area 51 at all.
Oh yeah, all that. I love those.
He would rather raid the camps of kids down at the border. Mm-hmm. He's like, let's go do that instead of the Area 51.
Mm.
Which, the Area 51 stuff has calmed down a little bit. It kind of has. I haven't seen too many memes or anything on the social networking.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much update of any specific kind.
Right.
So I don't know. I think it's losing its luster a little. I mean, there's been a lot of, this is what will happen. There's been a lot of some guy, breaking in and like stealing a sign off the outside fence. It says no trespassing and stuff, coming up to the fence, taking it, running away. In the video, you can hear the sounds of gunshots, but who knows? That could have just been a fake fence someone set up next to a, desert hill. Like, it could have been whatever. Could have been fake.
So I know that we're not a news podcast or anything, but I do want to give a big heart, my heart
as
goes
you
out.
Say news.
Right, a big heart. My heart goes out to the people that, the 2 mass murders that's happened in the last 24 fucking hours.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Texas and I think Ohio, I believe. But yeah, that's some crazy shit. This world's getting weird, but on to something else and more lighthearted. I know you hung out with somebody today that had a little bit of comic knowledge. Did you guys talk comics at all, or?
We went through some stuff, discussed some stuff, and looked up value of a few things I have, a few things a buddy of mine gave me. He said, look up the prices, list them online, and I kind of feel it'd just be easier for me to just buy them from him and put them off to the side for 10 years and then do something about it at that point or something. But yeah, we found out a couple of my comics, vary between $5 and $100, which was kind of cool.
That's nice.
I put them back on the shelf. We found legitimate verification of some of the signatures that's on mine.
Oh wow!
I bought a comic for $9 because it was signed, came with a certificate of authenticity. And I looked it up. I bought it for $10 at Deaf Ear in La Crosse, and I just looked it up, and it's like $35 right now.
Wow!
And it's still rocking. Not only that, because of the loss of Stan Lee, a lot of the Spider-Man comics, like
the originals,
I've gone up and stuff like that. Yeah, originals and a few of the main ones.